For longtime viewers of The Bold and the Beautiful, certain story patterns are easy to recognize. The show has a way of revisiting emotional themes that worked in the past, especially when it comes to love stories that slowly turn complicated. That's why R.J. Forrester's current storyline is getting so much attention. On the surface, it looks like a simple romance, but underneath, there are hints that it could become something much deeper and possibly darker. R.J.'s feelings for Electra are clear. He admires her, defends her, and speaks about her with genuine warmth. At first, it comes across as sweet and sincere. In soap operas, characters often fall fast, so his intensity doesn't immediately feel out of place. But the way he talks about her has started to stand out. He doesn't just like her, he seems to see her as almost perfect. That's where things begin to shift. When someone starts putting another person on a pedestal, it can blur reality. Instead of seeing who they truly are, they see an ideal version. And when reality doesn't match that ideal, emotions can quickly become complicated. That's the subtle change viewers are picking up on with RJ right now. Another key part of this storyline is his reaction to Will. Rather than treating him as someone from Electra's past, RJ seems to view him as a problem. He shuts down the idea that Will and Electra could reconnect and shows little willingness to consider that possibility. That kind of reaction suggests his feelings are becoming more personal and protective than simply romantic. It's this combination, intense admiration and growing defensiveness, that has fans drawing comparisons to Thomas Forrester. Thomas's past storyline with Hope is still one of the most memorable arcs on the show. What began as love gradually turned into obsession. He became convinced they were meant to be together, even when it was clear that Hope didn't feel the same way. That disconnect between what he believed and what was real created a storyline that was both dramatic and unsettling. No one is saying RJ has reached that point, but the early signs feel familiar enough that viewers are starting to wonder if the show is heading in a similar direction. Soap operas often revisit themes that resonate with audiences. Obsessive love stories in particular tend to create strong emotional reactions. So it wouldn't be surprising if the writers are exploring that territory again. The real question is how they handle it. If RJ becomes a direct copy of Thomas, the story could feel repetitive. But if the show takes a different approach, it could add depth to his character. One interesting possibility is that RJ recognizes his own behavior before it goes too far. Instead of spiraling, he might question himself and try to keep his emotions in check. That kind of self-awareness would make his storyline feel fresh and more grounded. Of course, there's also the chance that things do escalate. This is The Bold and the Beautiful, after all. If RJ's feelings continue to grow unchecked, it's easy to imagine him making decisions that cross boundaries. That kind of development would fit the show's history of turning romance into high-stakes drama. Even if that happens, it wouldn't necessarily be the end of his story. One thing this show has proven time and again is that characters can come back from almost anything. Thomas himself eventually found a path toward redemption, rebuilding relationships over time. That's part of the soap opera formula. Mistakes lead to consequences, but rarely permanent endings. Right now, RJ is at a turning point. He hasn't done anything extreme, but the tone of his actions suggests that his feelings are becoming more intense. Whether that leads to growth or conflict depends on where the story goes next. In the end, this storyline works because it keeps viewers guessing. It sits right on the line between romance and obsession, and that uncertainty makes it compelling. Fans are watching closely not because something dramatic has already happened, but because they know it could. And in a show where history often repeats itself, even the smallest signs can lead to something much bigger.